Welcome to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California for a 1996 Pac-10 matchup featuring two outstanding up-and-coming quarterbacks. For the visiting Arizona State Sun Devils, it's Jake Plummer, and Cade McNown will be calling snaps for the UCLA Bruins. With the stage set, let's join commentators Brent Musburger alongside Dick Vermeil with the opening kick here on ESPN Classic.
Back deep now for the Bruins. That is Jim McElroy on the left-hand side, and the freshman from Phoenix, Keith Brown, on the right. The Sun Devils were unsuccessful in recruiting Keith Brown, so he'll see what he can do against his home state here today. Strong leg, Marcus Williams, and a bad kickoff. It'll come out on the 35-yard line. So the Bruins will start with favorable field position here against the Arizona State defense. And Cade McNown, who spent some time growing up here in California and then moved up to Oregon, now in his second year. Last year, in a wild shootout, he threw for almost 300 yards against the Sun Devils. Chili's presents the backs and receivers, and keep an eye on number 42, Skip Hicks. He is the main man right there. Now let's see if the coaches are conservative here in the opening up against this talented Arizona State defense, which shut out the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. We'll watch, of course, number 59, Derek Rogers, matched against a young tackle. Fake toss, Hicks, left-hander coming out, throwing, and he's complete on first down, an 8-yard gain, and he put the ball in the hands of Jamal Clark, his senior tight end. Here is this offensive line. We referred to Chris Ferris. He is the freshman from Mission Viejo. He's a 300-pounder, but he has to hold up against Derek Rogers, who keys the defensive front for the Sun Devils here today. That will be the main matchup. Number 59, Derek Rogers. You can see the three linebackers there for the Sun Devils, and now we come up with a 2nd and 2.
Look for a little screen pass right here. There it is. With it wide open.
And a first down on the screen pass, Coach.
Well, Alan Borges, the offensive coordinator, said they cannot afford to be conservative against this fine defensive football team. They were going to come out and attack, and they demonstrated that on the first 2 plays of the game.
How about the defensive secondary here? Mitchell, Fright Night Friedman, number 13. What about the Sun Devils secondary?
Very good secondary. And Friedman and Richardson, the two safeties, are very good tacklers. They get them involved in taking that 7-man front and making it a 9-man front by bringing those safeties up in run defense like they did against Nebraska. They plan to do that today, too.
18-yard gain inside the 40-yard line, and they come back with Skip Hicks, and he is swarmed at the 40. And third member of our broadcast group today, Jack Arute. Let's go down to Jack.
Well, Brent, you talk about the fact that Sparky and his crew, the Arizona State University team, are here in their first away game, but they've got a new field to deal with. This Rose Bowl, while it looks pretty, the footing is not very good. You can see a lot of the turf that's been kicked up during the pregame warm-ups, specifically the corners, the safeties, and the quarterbacks for ASU had trouble. They're wearing the half-inch spikes. That's as deep as they can get with spikes.
All right, Jack, we'll keep an eye on that story. 2nd and 11 for McNown and the Bruins, and they come back with a deep handoff now to McNown, and he makes his way to the 32-yard line.
Big Chad Sauter, the offensive left guard, good football player, came off on a one-on-one block that time and got some movement. Therefore, they had that crease to run up inside him. UCLA has been doing a fair job on 3rd down conversion, but they're against one of the best defenses in the Pac-10 with only allowing 21% success ratio on 3rd down conversion.
3rd and 4. Down the left-hander, moving over to the right, and he has thrown for the first down here to the near sideline. And the receiver was Danny Farmer, the freshman and the volleyball player, a walk-on receiver. He's the leading receiver here for the Bruins.
They used motion that time because they want to, against this man coverage, to loosen up with motion and get the secondary backed off them. That's good game planning. You'll see a number of plays run with wide receiver motion on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Hicks, so far the Bruin offensive line doing a job here. They have moved in their opening series smartly to the 26-yard line, and now they'll try Hicks behind. There's an alley on the left-hand side, and Hicks makes his way inside the 20-yard line. Now, there was a face mask penalty against the Sun Devils. That's why the ball has been placed at the 11-yard line.
Coming after him.
And they get it done. That time they came in with Jeremy Statt from Bakersfield, California, who rolled in on Darrell Price, who stepped into that backfield to replace Hicks.
UCLA defense, offensively have done a real good job. When you score 94% of the time, plus the 10 touchdowns is a very good ratio down there. Doing a good job. They're just not getting down there often enough.
2-yard loss, make it 2nd and 12. Craig Walende is number 47. He sets down as the fullback. They move the strong side of the formation to the right, and they will run for some. And Darrell Price is stopped by Derek Rogers. So Rogers making his first stop of the game.
You'll see number 59, Rogers. He normally plays on the weak side of the formation. You noticed on that play that UCLA shifted the tight end over to change the strength and put a tight end in front of him so they can block him a little better with combination blocks, sometimes double team blocks. That's a good way to slow him down. Red zone defense here. Pretty good job, 64%. Only 5 touchdowns. Pretty good job.
Big 3rd down for the Bruins. And McNown firing for the corner. Got it. So UCLA scores on its first possession of the game, and that's what the underdog needs to do against unbeaten Arizona State. Get up on that board and dictate against Coach Snyder and the Sun Devils. And Toledo's offense doing just that, moving down the field and throwing the touchdown pass on 3rd and 10 that time.
Well, they got him in the man coverage in the slot on the safety that way, and they take him to the corner with a delayed pattern outside. He threw it perfectly, and that's only the 3rd touchdown this year given up in the first quarter by an Arizona State defense. Real good execution, and you notice they didn't run very much there. They came to throw the ball with different actions from different formations.
Burton hammers the extra point.
And the kick is good.
UCLA scores first as McNown throws to Todd McBride for 6.
The touchdown scored was to the right side of your screen, but the reason for the score is the excellent pass protection right here in front of you. See the time he got to set up. Now, if you give Cade that kind of time, he's going to hit the Todd McBride type receivers in a one-on-one situation each time, or at least 75% of the time. Good pass protection by that Bruin offensive line. You know, they came into the ball game the 9th poorest scoring team in the first quarter in the Pac-10, and here they start out positively with that big drive.
Greg Andrasik from Honolulu will kick it off, and back deep for Arizona State, Marlon Farlow and Terry Battle. So Arizona State down early as the Bruins move in on their opening drive against the Pac-10 leaders, co-leaders actually with California. This is Battle from the 1-yard line to the 10. Coming to the right side with speed. 25, 30, 35, 40. Look out! No flags, and Battle will take it all the way. 99 yards for Terry Battle, the junior from San Diego.
Well, that's his all-time long. He came in here with a 55-yarder as his all-time long in his career, having returned 41 kickoff returns. Good blocking up front. And, you know, and Bruce Snyder, head coach Arizona State, told me last night, Brand, he said, you know, if we have an edge, I think we have an edge in the kicking game, and it was just demonstrated right there.
Robert Neese, the junior from Bakersfield, who beat Washington with a dramatic field goal on what now appears to be one of the better games of the college football season.
Number 16,
set now with the extra point that would tie us. and we're deadlocked at 7. Well, Arizona State was behind, folks, for all of 13 seconds.
You know, and they came into this ball game having scored their first offensive possession 4 out of 5 times against Boise. Was the first time they hadn't done it last week. And here they don't need an offensive possession. Good speed, poor leverage by the defense right here. People overrunning coverage, not coming to balance. The ball maybe not in the air quite as long as you'd like that ball to be in the air a little 4 seconds or a little bit better. It was not. It got there and it got in the right hands, and here comes Battle of putting it down. Good kick out blocks. People not doing it. Not enough blue jerseys around there. They're coming from behind. They did not do a good job of defensing the field first.
You know, it's interesting when a team, Dick, unbeaten, comes back with something like that right away. You get the feeling that they could just be in that kind of a season.
Yeah, you know, they are doing so many things real well. Their punting team was good. Their punt return team was good. Their defense is playing well. When you shut out a #1 team in the country like Nebraska, offensively, they're as impressive a total package offensive team as I've seen this year. Now, I say that because I like a lot of things they do, so you know, I'm positive about it. But they're awfully good.
So this time, Williams hangs it. McElroy from a yard deep is going to bring it out. And he's swarmed at the 15-yard line, and down we go to Jackaroo. Jack.
Brent, as Mitch Friedman, number 13, goes back out to play defense for Arizona State, he's going to have one wheel that isn't operating at full force. His right toe, his big toe. Now, you don't usually get turf toe on a natural grass stadium, but he stubbed it. They retaped it, and they've cleared him to play. But we've seen a lot of this, and it could be related back to that footing problem again when he was backtracking that last offensive series.
Cast on the right hand, a broken finger, of course. One thing, Jack, that's not broken is his mouth. He likes to announce the game as he's playing out there. Oh, yeah, fight night. He'll come up and, you know, try to shake you up a little bit. Look how deep Hicks is here. As McNown with that long handoff to the tailback and no more than a yard. You know, Dick, one thing that the Bruins have to be excited about is that on that opening drive, McNown was 4 of 4 for 45 yards, and he threw the touchdown pass. Sean Swayed that time with the tackle.
Yeah, and the other thing is they didn't ask him to throw any real difficult throws. Screen pass, short pass out. The most difficult was the touchdown, the corner pattern into the end zone. That's a good way to start out a young quarterback that's not, you know, hasn't been totally consistent. There's Alan Borges, the offensive coordinator.
Now eyes the defensive look. Sun Devils with 4 down linemen, and now McNown is going to change up. Going to throw it near side and complete. They are working Farmer out over to that near side. Certainly you remember his father, so do I, and this youngster's a very good athlete.
Yeah, George Farmer played here in 67, 68, 69, then was a 3rd-round draft choice of the Chicago Bears, and that's where you met him.
He sure did.
Fine football. He was a good track man, too, in high school, and this guy, like you said, Brent, is a good volleyball player. See, again, not a very difficult throw. Play action. You're going to see a lot of play action. You're going to see him also go strong run fake and try to pull the safeties up and then throw deep behind it.
On 3rd down, the Bruins elect to run for it, and they're short. And that Sun Devil defense coming up big that time. Swayed, number 99, the senior from Phoenix.
You know, Rodgers is not given credit for being a great run defender, but that time he did an awful nice job on that left side of the defense. He strung it out for us, and he got enough time to get some other people in the maroon and white jerseys over there to make the play.
Well, here's Chris Saylor. He's the UCLA punter, sophomore from Burbank. Dick.
He's tapered off a little bit this year, not as successful.
Let me tell you something. They got a man, J.R. Redmond, back here to return a punt. Don't bet against a kickoff return and then a punt return. This fella can flat out fly back here.
Nice punt too.
It is a good punt.
Should be able to cover that.
Redmond's got it at the 31, looking for the same kind of an out. Gets a block, breaks, but he is stopped at the 44-yard line, or he might have gone all the way.
He is a talent, Brent. I agree with you. We're going to see a lot of movement.
This is Martin, the first play from scrimmage for Arizona State, as Jake Plummer, the senior out of Boise, Idaho, directs this attack. Look at what he has accomplished over the last 10 games. They've won 9. He's thrown 21 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Chile's backs and receivers for Arizona State. Michael Martin, we just watched him with the first carry of the game. Lindsey Jackson coming along. He's maturing as a receiver. Keith Poole has been the go-to man. Devin Kendall steps in, and Juan Roque at left tackle. But folks, also keep an eye on the man next to him, number 56, Kyle Murphy. He could be the next outstanding lineman at Arizona State. So we've got a player injured here. This is the defensive front. Darren Klein was shaken up. This is a weird defense right now. So 94 is out. We'll get coach here to talk about it. It is, yes, a 3-3, and then there's a rover and a strong safety. Plummer with a short drop is going to throw against it as quickly as he can, and he hits Ricky Boyer. With that pass coming out of the backfield, it'll be close to a first down. Andy Colbert, the senior from right here in Pasadena, made the stop. And Dick, there's Sean Williams. You like him, number 32, the free safety.
Oh, I really do. He can come up and make plays. He has good range. That when it makes it look like he's in double coverage, but actually he's in a free safety position sometimes. They move him all over the field, as you were saying earlier, telling the fans this is a totally different defensive scheme than we normally see.
Here's the toss now to Martin. The fullback with a fine block over on that side, and on that first down, Martin runs for about 3 yards.
They're one of the few defensive teams now that we see that play 3 down linemen, and then from there on you can't describe what else they do. They do so many different things. Safeties up in linebacker positions. In fact, Bruce Snyder told me they quit identifying positions by jersey numbers because they had to just say if he's in a linebacker position, even though if he's a safety, he's a linebacker. And they're going to more zone blocking, no man blocking, and some gap blocking, and they want to toss the ball and get it outside like they just did then.
2nd and 7. Plummer likes to throw on the roll, comes to underneath, incomplete. Penalty flag has been thrown by the linesman. Double coverage on the tight end is Zach Romero, who was running the route down to the near sideline. Chuck McFerrin, the Pac-10 referee today.
Pass interference on the defense. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Sean Williams, one of the defenders in that sequence.
Right.
And Klein having his right leg tended to over there on the sideline.
Well, they can't afford to lose defensive linemen. They're only playing with 3, and they're a little bit banged up at that position anyway. Darren Klein's dad was a fine football player, played for the Raiders and the 49ers. His brother was a tight end at Stanford, so it's a football family, and he knows how to play with a little pain. Hopefully, he'll be back. This defense is terrible. It's tough to prepare for because you just don't see it anymore.
First down, automatic first down after the pass interference. The ball is at the Bruins' 42-yard line. In the round, they're going to bring Boyer off the wing. He's going to throw. Intercepted at the 10-yard line. Abdul McCullough with the game's turnover, the first one for the Bruins.
He really should have run that football. And, interception ratio, he has a tremendous ratio. He very seldom throws an interception. There he does right off the bat. Actually should have just took off and run the football.
Dick, on the hit, we had a penalty flag thrown here, too. We'll take a look at this first.
Here he lays it way up there deep, asking Ricky Boyer to throw the football.
Now, as McCullough returns this, was there a late hit on him? You can see that a Sun Devil shaken up on the play. So conference play, physical, a lot of wild and crazy things have already happened in this game.
Illegal block in the back on the return, the 10-yard penalty, and first down.
So instead it'll go against the Bruins and they'll bring it back. But in case you just snapped on your TV set, you've missed a couple of touchdowns and now a
good
turnover.
fake, good around there. I've seen a lot of plays and missed very few, but I missed that handoff, Brent. I thought that was the quarterback coming out on a boot. Better wipe my glasses off.
So there's McCullough, and there you can see the Arizona State push off by the Bruins as they were returning. Tied at 7 here with 7:38 to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
They like to get in these bunch formations, you see, like they're on the top of your screen, and then move. They can throw short passes out of that as well as run.
So McNown rolling left, buying time, and a beautiful completion out to the 45. Is there a fumble? But the Bruins have got it. However, the receiver appeared to be down on contact, and that's what they're marking right there as tight end Clark makes his 2nd reception, good for 34 yards.
Watch the 2 inside linebackers. They're frozen completely with that kind of action. Now that allows the throwing lane in behind those linebackers as big Jamal Clark tucks that ball away. Now he's a big guy at 255 pounds, so you better wrap him up when you get him down, to get him down.
First down, the ball at the Bruins 45-yard line. McNown off a play fake, and go deep, got an open man. Here it is, 6 more for the Bruins. And that time he hit number 85, Jimmy McElroy. A 55-yard scoring strike. Bruins lead for the 2nd time. Hang on, folks. This one's going to be wild and woolly.
That was one of those strong run play fakes. They took the wide receiver and released him inside as if he's going to block the safety to tie in with the run play. Then he just broke straight up to the field. The safety played run. They went in behind him. He got time to throw the football. Very good execution by Cade McNown.
Merton makes it a 7-point advantage for the Bruins again. Cade McNown, the dandy little left-hander. Folks, he's 7 of 7 with 2 touchdowns in this game.
Well, that shows you the value of strong run play action against a game plan that's dictated on stopping Skip Hicks, the running back, and committing the safeties. You'll see right here the strong run fake pulled the linebacker, and it also pulled and froze the safety to the right of your screen. That's Freedom, and he catches him right there at the bottom of your screen. He lets it go, and there's the touchdown.
The last time Terry Battle handled the kickoff, he went 99 yards. What's the chances of kicking away from him this time and maybe seeing?
There's that onside.
Onside recovered by the Bruins. Beautifully executed by their kickoff man, Greg Andrusek.
I watched him do that on the practice field Thursday, and he was really good at it. Had his great control. You notice how that ball did not go very fast, so he could run as fast as that ball was moving, and it moved its 10 yards. Good, gutsy call, and a good time to do it.
Now watch Ian Badejo, number 50 for the Bruins. Watch him come over and recover the kickoff.
Well executed. A good call by Bobby Toledo, the head coach. He has a lot of this stuff within his personality. He likes this kind of football.
Cade McNown perfect so far. Off to the kind of start the coaches dream of, and they pound with Hicks, and now the middle's soft, and he makes his way for close to 10 yards.
See the game plan unfolding. They shifted the tight end over again and got him on Derek Rogers. They ran inside him and kicked him out. He is mainly a great pass rusher, Rogers is, and those are going to run at him and make him defend the run.
2nd and about a half yard here as number 59 Rogers gets down with that left hand, ready to go defensively. The fullback for the first down. Quick handoff to Walindi. He's a 227-pound sophomore, and now the Bruins, you can just feel them, Coach, gaining confidence in this situation with a 14-7 lead on Arizona State.
They have done everything right physically and mentally, and that also starts to the Arizona State people questioning a little bit. But you know, Bruce Snyder told me the one thing these kids have done, the Sun Devils have done, they've handled the different situations, the adversities over a few years here real well. They'll handle pressure.
Now the toss to Hicks. Behind Walindi with a good block, and Hicks bangs to the 35-yard line. Bruin fans are certainly aware of the story concerning Hicks. Good talent if he can stay healthy.
Yes, he is. You know, he's had a couple knee operations, and last week against Oregon, he had his all-time best game at 175 yards because they made the commitment to run him. Now, defensively, Phil Snow, the coordinator, has said, we're making the commitment to stop this man from beating us and going to try to make Cade McNown beat us. Well, right now, Cade McNown is doing a good job.
Second down and 4 with Hicks, the lone running back, set behind Cade McNown. McNown for the day is 7 of 7 for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here comes his 8th throw under pressure from Rogers. Wings it, and a beautiful play by the defensive back, number 12 on that side, and that's Lamont Morgan coming off the bench to make the play.
Excellent close on the ball because the route was, I think, fundamentally run pretty well. He got down there, he pushed him deep, and they came back on the comeback. There was no underneath coverage because they used play action to stop people from buzzing out there. It was also a real nice block by the offensive lineman Andy Myers that got out there and allowed McNown to get outside. Good execution, but better defensive play by Mr. Lamont Morgan.
3rd and 4. McNown can run when he puts pressure on the outside. He's fully capable. Starts a motion man. That's Farmer coming in behind him, and so it gives him a slot look. Rolls deflected, incomplete, and a great play by Derek Rogers.
Well, he had good penetration. They should never let him get in there that cleanly. Obviously, the blocker didn't plan to let him get in there that cleanly. But when he gets in there, and he's not the tallest guy, he's 6'2" in the middle of your screen. See, they jump outside, and that's that young redshirt freshman, Chris Barris, at 6'9½", not moving his feet quite quick enough and getting down the middle of that guy to keep him on the line of scrimmage. He has great movement, maybe one of the fastest guys on the defensive team, including the secondary.
Sailor trots on the field to punt the ball at the Sun Devils' 35-yard line. UCLA with the lead. He'll try to pooch it down. Poole let it run, and the Bruins down it at the 2-yard line. That's the man who just scored, McElroy, doing the job. With Dick Vermeil and Jack Arute, I'm Brent Musburger. The Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California. UCLA upsetting Arizona State very early, 14-7, 5:24. Terry Battle checks into that backfield for Arizona State. He'll get the call right here. And he's smashed at the 5-yard line. Gain of a couple of yards on that first down carry.
See Rocky Long, the defensive coordinator, committing 8 and 9 people to stop the run. You can do it even more so down here. Those 3 down linemen, they had about 9 people standing right up close to the line of scrimmage right there. Of course, you're susceptible. You're forced to play man-to-man coverage on your corner, so he's putting a lot of pressure on those young people, and he knows he's doing it.
Let's see now if Plummer and the Sun Devils throw out. They elect to stick with Battle for a couple more yards, and this will leave them with 3rd and 6. Jack Arute, we've had some fellas shaken up here so far, partner.
Yeah, but Brent, we can update him. Darren Klein, he had a sprained ankle. He's back in. Juan Roque, sprained ankle, retaped it. He's back in as well. So a lot of wheels going down early in this game.
And the ball just short of the 7-yard line now. And Roque, the 6'7" or 8, depending on who's doing the measuring over there at the left side. Plummer rolls right in the end zone. Bruins in pursuit, and he is downed at the 4-yard line. Arizona State must punt from its own end zone.
See, he wanted to go deep, and there were 2 blue jerseys on the man. He wanted to throw the ball too deep, so he had no choice. He had to go ahead and just scramble and just make sure he got out of the end zone and get back to the line of scrimmage. Jeff Ruckman, number 45, was chasing him down. Good coverage by the Bruins, good pressure by the Bruins.
Lance Anderson is the Sun Devil punter.
Averaging 45 yards a punt coming into this game. He has 10 over 50 yards. He's a good punter. They're coming after it. Boom.
Fielded at the 39-yard line. And down to the 30 goes Paul Guidry, who is off the injured list. So he has returned to return punts. Let's take a look at how close they came.
Yeah, right up inside. He gets right there, just almost 1 split second, and he gets there again. And they haven't had a punt block this year, but they got one close that time. See, and if you don't block it, and the punter sees that guy coming down the throat, it distracts him. And he hasn't had many bad punts this year. He's only had, coming into this ball game, 8 punts less than 40 yards, and that was 9. Great field position.
Attacking and movement in the middle of the defensive line. You can see that 99 Sueda jumped across, and the only issue here is to whether or not he was pulled.
It looked like they were going to blitz, and many times you get in a blitz mode, people jump on those ones.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the Bruins with the ball at the 25-yard line and leading 14-7 here with 3:28 to go in the opening quarter.
Everybody up, one-man beat.
1st and 5, and it's going to be the running back, and that's Darrell Price, who has replaced Hicks at that tailback spot.
Nice linebacking play that time by Scott Vonderahi, number 50. He's a senior from Mission Viejo. He's the leader in the core of that defense. You know, Rodgers gets all the publicity because he sacks the quarterback. Look at this. First quarter score, 10 points. They were rated 9. Today they got 14. They got to be excited about that.
2nd down and 5 for the Bruins. So the halfback pass,
and he fell down.
Slipped. The receiver slipped on the play, and they did not have a chance to complete it. Eric Scott was the intended receiver. Darrell Price throwing the ball, and when Scott slipped, there was no chance to get the ball.
Well, Scott went inside again like he was going to block the safety, the run force man, and then break in behind the corner and try to get the corner to come up. When he broke back to the outside, he slipped and fell. They've got all the little tricks in their game plan. Alan Borges and staff doing a real good job of that UCLA offense, changing it up.
Here's 3rd and 5 for the Bruins. McNown bobbled, and a penalty flag. Pass interference is the call. Harlan Rashada off the Sun Devils bench with the coverage
Pass
that time.
interference on the defense. Automatic first down if it's spotted a foul.
And the spot of the foul was the 17-yard line.
7-yard penalty against Arizona State. Given UCLA.
Through to the right side of your screen, you'll see him get right up on him a little bit early, and I think he had the left hand on him before the right hand, and Harlan all over him, and the official's right there. That's the 2nd pass interference penalty in the ball game.
Sometimes when a fella juggles the ball, it looks more like pass interference than it really is, too. Now McNown, short drop fires. Is he on target today? 10 more yards, and this time he goes to the far side, and McBride, who caught his first touchdown pass of the game. He has hit McBride with one and McElroy with the other.
You know, I talked to Cade McNown on the practice field on Thursday, and he told me he's feeling more comfortable with the offense all the time. And he also told me there's a lot of things in our offense that we haven't used in a ball game yet, and some of it we're going to use on Saturday. And the other thing he said that he said, you know, if you can't get excited about a team that beat the #1 team in the country, you shouldn't play football. You know, he's a real competitive guy, sometimes to his own disadvantage, because he'll run out of the pocket a little bit early.
Rashada shaken up and coming off to the side.
Trainers Perry Ettinger and staff bringing them off the field. That's one thing you notice about college football today. The quality of the training staff and people, these kids are getting immediate attention and expert attention.
Second down and 1.
See, on the line of scrimmage now, he's checking the direction he wants to run to.
Hicks returns. 1st and goal. Bruins.
They're taking advantage over there, running to the left side of the offensive line now. Vince Amy, the starting defensive tackle for Arizona State, did not come today. He's injured and couldn't play, and they're playing a backup player in there, and they're taking advantage of the offensive line. You'll see him coming off real well there. A nice kick-out block right there by Cheyenne Caldwell, 49. And when you get that kind of movement inside, you're going to make the first downs and move the chains.
Hicks 6 more for the Bruins.
Woo. You talk about execution.
Cade McNown has been flawless at quarterback, and he's getting help from his friends. And this time it's Skip Hicks, the junior from Wichita Falls, Texas, who steps in for the Bruins' 3rd score here in the opening 15 minutes.
So, coming to this ball game having scored 14 points, now you scored 10 points rather than the first quarter, and here you got 20. Good game plan.
And Merton makes it 21-7. Here comes Hicks right at you.
Good wing block, good kick out block by the offensive guard, and a nice strut in the end zone by Mr. Hicks. Nice blocking here, right? You got a wing and a tight end right there, a little holding going on. Now here's the kick out block. Bang! Good job there by Andy Myers, number 78. Give that offensive lineman a little credit for helping that play get in the end zone. Nice job, Andy Myers.
Welcome back to Pasadena, where early in the second quarter, UCLA increased their lead to 21 when Cade McNown hit Derek Ayers in stride in the end zone. On the next possession, Jake the Snake Plummer showed his fangs and later connected with Keith Poole for a Sun Devil touchdown. With the score now 28-14 UCLA, we move ahead to the start of the second half here on ESPN Classic.
UCLA beating Arizona State 28-14, and just a short time ago, our Jack Root caught up with Sun Devil coach Bruce Snyder.
Coach, what do you do to get some offense?
You know, that was our worst half of football this season, and we had a real good halftime. We know what to do.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, obviously we got to try to capture the line of scrimmage, which we have not done the first half. They did a great job, UCLA, and if we can get a little bit of a run going, because I know Jake and those guys will come alive, so we'll be all right.
A wake-up call at halftime?
Yeah, well, no, earlier than that. It was about the first quarter.
So Arizona State will get the first possession here in the second half. In that first half, McNown fired 3 touchdown passes for the Bruins. 11 yards, 55 yards, and 39 yards. The Sun Devils' biggest play, a kickoff return. No chance to return this one. Andrusik almost nailed Jack Root down there right at the top of the head, partner. Good move.
Almost. I can still dodge him. You know, Brent, you would have thought in the UCLA locker room there would have been some jubilation, some high fives. That was not the case. Very, very serious composure, not only from the players, but the coach as well. Head coach Bob Toledo told all of the players, look, we played a good first half, but what's going to win this game is consistency. Don't let up, maintain a hard-hitting attitude, and the win can be yours. But it wasn't the type of halftime you'd expect by a lead team.
First down, and Plummer will throw on the initial down. He hits Poole, and Poole caught a touchdown pass in that first half. And so Poole right now working on a record as far as the Sun Devils are concerned, and you can see their possessions there, Dick, and Poole's now caught a TD pass in 5 straight games.
Yeah, and you see Coach Snyder talking about getting the running game going. Only 8 yards rushing in the first half. You know, everything in favor here. They have plus 194 yards over here in total offense. Time of possession by 9. Everything UCLA. It balanced out a little bit in the second quarter.
So they throw for a first down on the opening play of the half. Then they come back with the fullback, and that is Jeff Polk, number 44, the sophomore from Tempe. And he bangs into the 36-yard line. Back to the possession chart, Dick.
You really look at the possession chart. There's only one time the word possession should be used, and that's this nice drive here. They lost the ball in downs there. They punted, the interception, and the punt. You know, good defense by UCLA, inconsistent offense by the Sun Devils.
2-yard gain for Polk. Leaves it 2nd and 8. Now they will have one running back. And Plummer with good time. Incomplete, wanted Poole. And Poole was well covered on that play by the Bruin defense. This crazy, confusing UCLA defense. It was McGee that time. All they do is get the job done here today.
Yeah, and they're playing tight man, and they can play the kind of man they want to play. See, he's right on him, aggressive. That's a linebacker on, because there's a safety right behind him going to help him.
Now we bring it up to 3rd and 8 for the Sun Devils. Poole, he's been the go-to guy. The corner is playing soft. And pulls down to the right. Now Plummer got an open man. Got a first down, busted coverage. They hit him right into the seam of the zone that time. And Lindsey Jackson has moved the chains. So they will bring it up now to the 41-yard line, where it will be a first down for the Sun Devils, who are down here by 2 touchdowns.
See Arizona State going to use of motion against the man coverage, and I'm not sure that was meant to be a zone. I think they broke the coverage and got picked off in that man principle.
Got a lot of cutback battles for a yard. And out here it is 28-14 UCLA. The Sun Devils trying to mount a drive, and they've got Poole now at the 19-yard line, and suddenly this looks very efficient as you watch this passing.
And Jake Plummer doing what Cade McNown did in the first half so well, is throw under pressure, throw the completed pass when maybe you don't even see the reception. He gets nailed as he throws the ball. Here's Poole on a one-on-one situation. He does a nice little move to the inside, turns, and there's the ball. But I'll tell you this, Jake Plummer didn't get to see the throw. Blitz up inside, they don't get him, down he goes.
Now here's the handoff, and they will run number 21. That's J.R. Redmond, freshman from Carson. They've always turned out good high school football players there here in Southern California.
They really have.
Coach?
For a long time, all the way back to when I was coaching. You always went to Carson in that area, San Pedro, and you look for some football players. And that guy certainly knows the area around here, having been with Terry Donahue as his offensive coordinator prior to taking over.
So a 2-yard gain by Redmond on first down leaves Arizona State 2nd and 8. Plummer, time, Poole, touchdown Arizona State. He took it away from the defender, and that's his 2nd touchdown grab of the day, as Javelin Guidry cannot hammer the ball away from Poole.
Well, he had a big game against UCLA last year, catching 9 balls for 167 yards. He's going to come back and do the same thing today. But good formation usage that time. They used 2 tight ends and 2 wideouts so they could max and protect and give the quarterback, give Jason Plummer the time to throw with a nice touch.
Robert Neese makes it a 7-point game. Arizona State mounting a comeback, trails the Bruins 28-21.
Good pass protection here by a young running back, picking up the blitz there, and then a one-on-one situation up on top. Nice cushion to throw the ball. He's not rushed. He can lay it up with a touch, and an excellent reception. Take a look at this one-on-one. He gives him a little stick to the inside, gets his hand on the ball, thrown right there, and he just steals it from him. Excellent job. Defender could not see the football coming down. That's a tough one to defend.
A year ago, Arizona State trailed UCLA by 17 at the half, 27-10. This year, they were down 14. Now they have cut that to 7. The kickoff is fielded at the 6-5 hole, and McElroy explodes up the middle, down at the 41-yard line.
Boy, you could see that hole from up here. It was wide open. The wedge for a minute didn't have anybody to hit. They didn't constrict. You know, when the wedge comes up there, 4 shoulders, you'll see the wedge in the middle of your screen. See those 4 blue jerseys going? Look at the hole right up in there. They can't find anybody to hit. They can't find anybody to hit. They've got to constrict that defense. You have to defense that wedge as well. That's where the ball's going to be. Important that the Bruins get moving.
Skip Hicks, he's the tailback. Cade McNown hands now to Hicks, and stopped at the line of scrimmage. And that time Arizona State moved up with Pat Tillman into that hole, and also Mitchell Friedman was there as we see their first half possession.
And they're impressive. They're impressive. You look at the first drive, the touchdown as we remember, then the 2-play drive for the touchdown. 5 impressive offensive display. They bogged down a little bit there in the red zone area in the second quarter, but I think they're probably even surprised they're out there by 3-8 points.
Yeah, those 2 series loom very big now, don't they? The ones that they fail on when they were threatening in the first half. Here comes the blitz again. And McNown almost threw an interception to the big lineman who was coming in that time.
I think that's Brent Bernstein, the man number 94. That's a second batted ball. I'll tell you, that's pass defense at its best because the defenders aren't tested downfield. If you got a big guy like that can jump up there at 6'8" and knock him down, and that's been part of his career. He had 5 career pass defense coming into this game. Now he has 7. Boy, that takes the heat off those linebackers. That time they were trying to pick a back on a linebacker.
3rd down and 11 for the Bruins. Arizona State rushes 4. McNown cannot get away from Aubrey Battle, number 97. So the 4 rushmen beat the blockers that time.
Well, I'll tell you, Chad Sauter got beat on the outside move by Aubrey Battle. They did a nice job of doubling up Derek Rogers out there coming at the left tackle, Chris Ferris, but Sauter was all by himself there, and it was just a good, hard rush by Battle that got to the quarterback. He, too, is a California native.
There's Redmond back deep. Field Sailor's punt.
There's no one lined up out there on the punt. Oh, they noticed it late. You see that? They should throw the ball.
Well, it was Redmond who was motioning. Dick, we caught it actually on the picture. He saw that the man was uncovered over there on that side. The punt goes out of bounds. They should have snapped the ball immediately and gone to it. They had an uncovered man off to the right.
The sprinter was uncovered. The reason he was uncovered, he came in the game late and lined up, and they didn't see him. There were only 10 men initially, and the 11th one came on late, and there was no one on him. Most punting teams have a rule that the punter looks up and he sees his sprinter that's going to cover the punt. Not covered by a defender, you throw him the football.
Arizona State with the ball on their own 28-yard line. They quickly bring it up to the line of scrimmage. Senior dominated offensive line now sitting still. The Devils down by only 7.
They changed the coverage package up right now too.
And they drop it off to the fullback, incomplete. The intended receiver is Jeff Falk.
See now, Rocky Long did a nice job. Last time they were picked on with that one-on-one passing scheme. This time they come up and they go up and pressure, but they leave 2 deep safeties back there. So that helps those people. They can free, and you're locked on. You're trying to throw a screen. Well, you've got a defender locked on that man. Now, what did that signal mean? Have a cold one at the end?
Jeff Ruckman continuing there in the defensive line as the Bruins rushing 4. Plummer fires to the tight end, dropped over the middle, and I believe that was Zach Romero who was working over the inside, the tight end that time, and this will leave the Sun Devils in a 3rd and 10.
You know, they're changing up with the defensive front now, and like you said, Brent, you said rushing 4. Well, their 5th rusher, the nose guard, stood up and played pass defense in the middle. See the nose guard moving around in there.
But only 2 down. Good blocking. Fires incomplete. A great play that time, though. On the deflection was Javelin Guidry.
Now, he was beaten for the touchdown. He makes up for it on a nice play right there. And that's hard to cover because you're coming across the field. He's going to run away from you. Here he comes. They're trying to pick him off in that man-to-man coverage. They didn't do it. He got underneath him. And receiver running away from you like that across the field is tough to defense.
I wonder if the Bruins might not be thinking about having a go here at Lance Anderson with Guidry back deep. We have seen the punting game go awry. Came right up the middle that time, and he booms one. He drove Guidry back to the 16-yard line, looking for daylight. Cut off, and down he will go. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. They lead Arizona State by 7. 28-21 here with 10:41 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This Pac-10 game unfolding in the Rose Bowl. Arizona State unbeaten and ranked number 4. The Bruins came in 2-2 and trying to hold on and stage what would be a huge upset this year. This is Hicks. Daylight right side. Hicks battles for 12 yards and a 1st down at the 34.
You know, when you spread the defense out like they did with one back in the field, in the backfield, and spread all the way across the. Here's Big Bernstein right here, who's been playing real well, number 94. There he is, and they turn him out, see, and they cut back and run against the grain back there. You spread the defense out like that, there's more cracks to cut back in.
Hicks now 13 carries and 104 yards. Lined up behind Wallendy, the fullback.
Here come the safeties to defend the run.
And it's Hicks bringing it at him.
He's still getting outside. They had 9 people defending the run that time, and they still got outside.
Mitchell Friedman finally pushing him out of bounds on that far side, but he gained 8 yards on that run.
Yes, he did. He was moving up in position to defense run prior to the snap, just like they did against Nebraska. They're going ahead and commit him and say, hey, we know we're vulnerable with the play action pass when you do that, but we've got to stop you from running, and we don't want you to eat up the clock.
McElroy comes out wide to the left. Farmer, the slot man in that direction. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard run. Short drop, quick fire, slot man's Farmer. Got it. 1st down into Sun Devil territory at the 48-yard line.
See, that's the same formation that the last time that they were in, they ran the cutback running play. This time they get into formation, and I believe they're audibling runner pass on the line of scrimmage. That time they had more people up in position to stop the cutback that was successful a minute ago. They come up and they throw against the tight one coverage.
Eric Scott and Todd McBride check into the offensive lineup for the Bruins. Now Farmer slotted off to the right side of McNown, who makes the call at the line of scrimmage. Short drop, open underneath, and he hits him right now. You never know in this great game. 2nd down and 3 now. McNown fakes Hicks, wants to set it, and Wallaby, a nicely conceived play for a 1st down.
See those cluster formations, then you change it and put man in motion, then you run play action, and defenders lose where the offensive players are. Friedman, here he is, coming all the way from the safety position. I couldn't find him right there, came all the way over. Say, he moved over when the tight end went in motion that way. That's a lot of ground to cover.
So it's 1st and 10, the ball inside the 35-yard line. Bruins mounting a drive here with Cade McNown, who threw 3 first-half interceptions. This is Hicks, who's rushed for over 100 yards, and that's for 1 yard on that gain. 2nd and 9. Van der Ahe and Friedman making the stop.
You know, the one thing the Bruins haven't done with their offense that they have in the game plan is an option series, because Cade McNown is a mobile guy and he can run the option. He's a good pitch man, and they've getting constricted. You get those 2 tight ends and one wide out. You've got them constricted now. It might be the time to come with that option series.
This is an exhausting drive for the Arizona State defense here, if nothing else, keeping them on a field for a lot of snaps. Bruins with 2nd down. Arizona State looking for the big play. Quick pop over the middle, got the tight end. He runs free and then bowls his way. What a play by Jamal Clark, the 260-pound senior.
See, they blitzed the inside linebacker. It's a hot receiver. The tight end came off to the inside, and he saw it, and he just turned and looked for the football. Good coaching principles within the scheme, and you'll see this from the end zone. You'll see the linebacker right there come. Now the tight end releases to the inside. He looks, he sees it, he turns and just catches the ball. Good job. And that really isn't a tough principle to coach. It just takes time.
So Dick, the ball is spotted at the 11-yard line for this 1st down.
He's audibly the direction he wants to run.
Prior to the snap.
See, they've got to get the plays in quicker if they're going to get on the line of scrimmage and then change the play. They've got to give him more time. When that happens, it's a coach's fault.
So we have 8 minutes left in the 3rd. The Bruins driving, but now they have a 1st and 15.
Sudden terror would be a good name for a defensive team, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a football game, though, Coach. I know.
If it's not, I'm not watching it.
That's what I sort of figured. All right, 1st down now. McNown under pressure, and was that intentional grounding? No, incomplete. They wave it off. That was Pat Tillman, who was in his chops.
They just turn him loose. Top left part of your screen. He's going to come in there. The tackle didn't turn out, so they didn't have a back there in there to pick him up. No hot receiver principle on that unless he misread it improperly. But there he goes, Mr. Pat Tillman in, raising hell again.
Looked like they were attempting to set a middle screen. Dick, the defense formed right, but the offense never formed.
They wanted to throw the wide receiver screen outside.
It never did set up, did it? No. 2nd down and 15. Now McNown fires middle, open man, deflected, incomplete. Oh, baby, he had McBride.
He had him, and he used good quarterback technique. You know what he did? He went back, he looked, and he pumped away to try to pull the safety out of there, and then he tried to get back behind him. Here we have a slot. He's going to go to the post. Sticks, goes to the post. Now the quarterback pumped away, tried to hold the safety there, and then turned back and throw it. But excellent defense that time.
By Fright Night.
Fright Night. He's knocked a few down today.
Go get it, Mitch.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you, Todd darn near got that ball anyway.
He did that, eh? Well, here we go. 3rd and 15 now.
Big thing is don't take a sack or turn it over. You're in the red zone.
Steps away from the rush man. Got away from Tillman. Goes to the corner. Incomplete.
Or pass interference.
Was that ball catchable?
It's Marcus Soward was on him. Up from here, it looked like pass interference.
That's what they called. Of course, it's an automatic first down.
But the ball was not. Yeah.
But I didn't think the ball was catchable. I thought the ball was 4 or 5 feet out of bounds.
Yes, it was.
Pass interference on the defense. Foul was in the end zone. Ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Right side of your screen, you'll see it right there. He's all over him. And it was catchable. It was catchable. We're a long ways away from that, but you can definitely see the contact prior to the ball getting there. That's the 5th pass interference penalty. I think the 2nd one on Mr. Soward. When you play that tight man-to-man coverage, you're going to get some pass interference calls.
What an opportunity here for the Bruins. Power to the right side with the tight end. They'll go in that direction with Hicks. Touchdown, UCLA.
By shifting the tight end from one side to the other, instead of blocking a 6'8", 280-pound defensive end, you're blocking a 6'2", 222-pound defensive end with your tight end, and you have a better chance of winning that battle. Good game planning.
It's Merton. So, hold on, I believe there's a flag on this one.
Personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Replay the.
That makes it sort of interesting, doesn't it? They're sitting on a 34-21 lead. The extra point comes back off the board. They're going to have to kick it again. And now it becomes more like a field goal.
Well, he is excellent at this distance, Brent. 21 for 22 from the 20 to 29, 16 for 22 from the 30 to 39. He's an excellent short-range kicker. When he drops off, he's outside the 40.
So Bjorn getting ready here. He's a senior from Centerville. 36-yard extra point for Merton. Off to the right.
Oh,
that is huge.
That's huge.
In the numbers business, folks.
That's huge.
That is a big one. Down here, of course, Arizona State needs a rally. Jake Plummer completes a pass to Poole, who is smacked at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 12 yards on first down. Arizona State moves the chains.
And that was a great term. He really did get smacked. Coming in on the slant, and you'll see Williams, number 32, move inside out and give him a shoulder and forearm right there. Now, that would impress me is Poole jumps up and sort of looks back and say, hey, you can't keep me on the ground.
Poole with 7 catches today for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. First and 10, and they flex the H-man off. That's Kindle who steps in motion. Strength of the formation is over there on that side.
They've had a real tough time blocking the inside of that defense. It's moving all the time. That time the nose guard was standing up in a 2-point stance bouncing around. And you'd like to believe you could handle it, but there's a lot of stunning going on.
Dick, we're left to wonder if maybe Martin hasn't been nicked a little bit in this game, because instead of Battle, who was in there for the series, now it is the freshman Redmond. And They're carrying the bulk of the running load here. 2nd down and 7. Plummer sets the screen, and it is dropped. So it'll be 3rd down just as well. He would have lost a yard had he caught that ball.
Well, they were up in tight man coverage. When he came back to the inside, he just followed him back down the inside and made the play. Good job by Paul Guidry, doing exactly what he's coached to do.
And Philip Ward, number 97, was able to get a hand on that football also on that pass. So he's been a factor now. 3rd and 7. Jack, what do you hear quickly about Martin?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's let this play go, and then we'll tell you the story, Brent.
3rd down and 7. Plummer steps away from the blitz, cuts back, 1st down, midfield. Jake the Snake to the 42-yard line.
That became a quarterback draw. Man coverage, that really, the coverage was so good, he couldn't get a man open, didn't panic, he just takes the ball right up to the inside. Now you'll see it open to the inside of the screen. Rush gets to the outside, nice hole right up in there. He wants to throw it, he sits in there, takes the time, it's not there, he just makes it a quarterback draw. The other thing he should have done is he should have slid in there. Shouldn't take a hit like that. He's got a long season to play.
Well, that is the longest run by an ASU back today. That 20-yarder right there by Plummer. So it is 1st down at the Bruins 42. Plummer, receivers covered again, and this time he's swamped at the 46. Now, Jack, let's figure out why Michael Martin's not playing.
Well, Brent, if you noticed, you haven't seen him in there since about midway in the 1st quarter. It seems that what happened is he took a real hard hit up in his neck area on the left-hand side. Now, they iced it down, and they have kept him out for the rest of the game. In fact, he's taken the pads off, he's taken put his street clothes on, and he's out for the day. A tough break for that young tailback.
Yeah, he's the kind of runner that runs well against a stunting defense because he slashes. He's a non-hesitation guy. He goes upfield.
2nd down and a long 12 for the Sun Devils. Try to run the draw, and Redmond goes down.
See, they're firing those inside linebackers like that in through those gaps. See, they're not trying to control a gap. They're trying to penetrate the gap and cancel a gap so there's no place to run in there. And they've been very, very effective.
Now, there's 11 minutes left here in this ball game. This is a 3rd down and a long 12, but it's at this point where Arizona State has to be thinking about 2 downs to get the 1st down. It's getting a little bit late. You're not down 1 score now. You're down 2. But let's see what Plummer and the Sun Devils have got coming here on 3rd down. The Bruins rush 4. Offensive line holds, but no receiver open. Plummer on the move, fires back. Baldwin is intercepted at the 21-yard line, and Guidry stepped in there and made the interception for the Bruins at the 10:38 mark. A costly turnover.
See what they were in a 2-deep safety with man coverage underneath, and they just locked on. See, and he had no place to go. He gets back, he has time, he sets up, they stun it inside, he has time. Now he starts to scramble out of there, and the corner, who was rolled up tight, backed up by the safety, just turned around and picked it up. There it is to the middle of your screen there. You'll see him. He's playing him real tight. You'll see the safety appear from the left side of the screen now. He's going to double it. You can afford to be that aggressive. Not a good decision by Jake.
Now it is important for McNown and the Bruins to go to work on the clock. Folks, they can start dreaming about that upset now. Don't turn it over. Protect the football. Come with the big running back. Hicks comes right straight ahead to the 25. Gains 3 yards on his 1st down carry. Dick, now at what point does Arizona State go all out gambling on defense, try to get the football away anything they can here?
Well, right then, with that 1st down snap, they had the 7-man front, and prior to the snap, both the free safety and strong safety came moving right toward the line of scrimmage. They know that UCLA is going to run the football, so they just committed 9 guys prior to the snap to stop the run.
You're left wondering, I suppose, about Arizona State. As you know, they played all 5 of their victories back in Tempe. They came here. They thought maybe it was a holiday, perhaps?
I really didn't read that in him. And in talking with the coaching staff, I didn't read that in him. I'll tell you, it's tough today to go through a conference undefeated. It's going to be tough for Ohio State if they go ahead and win today in that Big Ten. You know, these conferences, the coaches are doing a good job. They're spreading the athletes around with the scholarship limit. It's just tougher.
Well, here's a 2nd down and 7. This one still has a ways to go. 10 minutes in the 4th quarter, but the Bruins are up 34-21. is. Here's Hicks tiptoeing to the left. This will leave the Bruins with about a 3rd and 5 coming up right now. So a big play coming up.
Yeah, what they should be doing too now is thinking of clock control. Get up there, take your time, use the whole clock, snap the ball 1 second prior to it. The clock running out on it. You know, eat as much time as they can. Keep the ball inbound, but still try to move the football.
Well, that second turnover moments ago was very costly, wasn't it?
You bet. When you're -2 to anybody, you're not going to win many football games.
So here's the 3rd and 5 for the Bruins. Cade McNown.
They're coming.
The toss now, and this is Price. Price is ganged up on, and he will not get it.
Yeah, they were coming prior to the snap. They brought everybody up there. Rashada got up there to make the play, but other people just screwed it all up. See, there's more people coming to play defense than they have to block in this situation. You'll see all those gold helmets or orange helmets, whatever color they are. There's just too many guys to block, and they just string it out, push it to the sideline, and then the safety makes the play.
Sailor and the Sun Devils show 10. They press the wide men. Redmond, the freshman, back to return.
He returned one all 68 yards. He didn't get credit for the touchdown because he fumbled before it went in, and it was recovered for the touchdown. But he has those kinds of ability, that kind of ability.
Middle.
Nice
And here's Redmond. Waits now for a blocker. Gets it. Nothing doing. Good coverage. 21 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Sun Devils with the football.
First down and 10 for Arizona State, ball at ASU, 31.
Plummer has time, but receivers are covered, and now on the move, deep right, looking for somebody to break. He'll just take it out of bounds on that far side, and he steps out at the 38-yard line. One of the things to keep in mind about this game is that even though the Bruins are 500, 2-2, they are unblemished in the Pac-10 conference. Now Arizona State at 2-0, tied with idle California, but the Bruins can join California atop the Pac-10 with a win today. Washington losing a non-conference game, so it becomes anybody's chase, and USC can get right back into the thick of things with a win. Now on 2nd down, Redmond breaks to midfield.
See, they can afford to go ahead and loosen up that run defense and get people in position to go ahead and rush the passer. They're playing that man coverage underneath with 2 deep safeties, so they're having a hard time just to spring somebody free. I think they should go back a little bit to that man in motion series that they were using earlier.
We can see that SC is underway in the Coliseum against Arizona. And Washington State coming up big behind Ryan Leaf today. Plummer, receivers covered again. He's going to hoof it. On to get the sidelines, cut back, and the Bruins won't let him get it. But the clock could stop if that's a 1st down. 1st down, the linesman says at the 40-yard line. Waswa Sawanga, the rover back, coming over now with 7:47 on the clock. Quick score is what the Sun Devils must have here. There is the final. The Buckeyes rally 17-14. They stay unbeaten, but there was all that talk about the Buckeyes climbing to #1. Won't happen. The Gators were very impressive today against LSU. They buried them. Oh, my. Oklahoma finally doing better than the odds makers expected. Been a long dry spell for those Sooners. 7:47, 34-21.
The coverage people are doing a super job downfield. You notice how many times he's been forced to scramble now. That's why he's getting rushing yards now, up 37 pass yards, total offense. Pretty good, but I'll tell you this, he doesn't want those rushing yards. He wants big plays in the passing game, and the secondary coverage with that tight man backed up by safeties is really bothering him right now.
2 big plays from pulling this out. Plummer, short drop, throws, has the open man underneath, and he breaks free. Here comes Boyer. On that far side, they slip the tackle on him, and Boyer inside the 25-yard line.
See, they change up the coverage that time, and they go ahead and blitz. Now when you have man-to-man, you don't have a backed-up safety. So if you beat him, see, they try to rub off there with a slant and a straight pattern. He doesn't make the play. Now there's no backed-up safety to come and make the play right now. Don't go back to that coverage.
17-yard gain. Ball inside the 25. Plummer stands, throws, end zone. Mitchell got it. Touchdown, Arizona State. Kenny Mitchell.
Was that a beautiful throw? I mean, that was a difficult throw, and he threw it right where he had to throw it. A minute ago, Brent, you said they needed a big play to get right back in it, and he just gave it to him. A beautiful throw. Can't do it any better. I see why people rave about this guy, and I really believe he is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate.
He reminds you a little bit of the original Snake. Stabler bringing him back like that. Now remember, extra points. Huge right now. Robert Nees, the junior from Bakersfield. A 6-point lead as the Bruins missed their last extra point. That still looms huge as you watch Kenny Mitchell, the sophomore from Peoria, Arizona, make the catch of the day for Arizona State. Jake Plummer putting Arizona State in overdrive. They're down 6, 34-28, 7:24 to go. This is the team that shut out Nebraska. Now trying to battle back in their first road game. 5-0 on the year.
This is going to be a real check now from the offensive coach's standpoint. Alan Borges, the coordinator at UCLA, and of course Bobby Toledo, the head football coach. So what approach they take offensively.
McElroy and Brown set to return this kickoff right now. Marcus Williams drills it to McElroy way deep in the end zone, takes a knee, coming out on the 20-yard line now. 7:24, and this is a bit of a gut check for the Bruins here.
It is a gut check. Now you decide how you're going to try to move the ball. What confuses me, as a guy up here looking down on it, they were playing a man underneath coverage with 2 free safeties, forcing the quarterback to scramble every time they were in it here in that last series. And as soon as they got into one-on-one situation like that, they beat for the big play. Why not stay with what's working for you?
You can see the comparison between the two halves for the left-hander, Cade McNown. But what's important, he hasn't thrown an interception. Almost did a short time ago, but he did not. Now first down, and Hicks is the big running back. They're going to fumble. It's loose, and Arizona State goes and recovers. Sun Devils ball. A long handoff to Hicks. The exchange not a good one, and the fumble is recovered. That was Damian Richardson of Fresno dashing off the field with the football.
They call that a stretch play where you're going to try to reach and get outside with it. The quarterback sprints to the mesh point to hand it off, and you see he can't get to him. He can't get it to him. The running back, Hicks, is running away from him a little too flat, and he can't get it implanted properly.
UCLA's first turnover, and it's a critical one. And Hicks is down on the grass. The Bruins running back at the 7:17 mark.
Dale Rudd, the trainer for the UCLA Bruins and staff out there attending to him.
Well, let's take a break. Officials call a timeout. We're coming right back. Well, a round of applause for Skip Hicks, who is up and being assisted off to the sideline. And 7:17 to go. 34-28, a 6-point UCLA lead. But after the Bruins' first turnover, Arizona State at the 15-yard line with first down. Poole comes out on the field. The running back is Redmond, as Michael Martin, out with that injury, will not return for ASU today. And they come with Redmond, and he is stopped at the 15-yard line, a gain of about 1. This is going to be 2nd and 9.
They haven't run the ball well all day. Why go away from what you've been doing real well? Play action. Actually, the passing game has been a scramble situation mostly in the second half, other than that beautiful throw. They're spreading them out right now. Bounce them up with 2 tight ends, Brent. Looks like UCLA is going to blitz.
Overload to the right. They'll run the toss. It's a halfback option. He's going to throw back. Here's Plummer. Plummer's got it. 7-yard line. Cuts to the 5. Touchdown! Arizona State! Jake the Snake!
They've got all the tools. Holy.
Well, Danny Werfel may have all those gaudy numbers, folks, but write it down right here. The man's a legitimate candidate for Player of the Year in college football. He has already authored a shutout of mighty Nebraska, and now a critical extra point. Robert Neese pounds it through. A 1-point lead for the Sun Devils.
That's the old quarterback throwback pass. Legal in college football. The ball goes away. I'm thinking when I saw this, what's he trying that halfback pass that was intercepted for? This time he turns and throws it back, but now look at the running ability of this guy. What a competitor. Here it is. He's going to go ahead. He's going to toss the ball deep to the tailback. He uses motion to block over there at the point. Tosses it deep. Quarterback rolls out. Now, normally, either a defensive end will peel with a quarterback or a linebacker is supposed to stay with him. Nobody covered him, and just good running ability, and they take the lead. And now I know why Bruce Snyder told me last night. He said, Dick, these kids are really responsive to the situation they find themselves in. They found themselves down and out of it, and they brought themselves back.
They were down 28-7, Coach. 9:35 remaining in the second quarter. They have now taken their first lead of the day with 6:33 to go, 35-34.
Right, and you know, in Jack Arut's interview with Bruce coming out at halftime, he didn't seem flustered. He didn't seem in a panic frame of mind like I would have been.
It isn't over yet.
No,
either.
it's not.
McElroy and Brown are back deep, and this one is pounded out of the end zone. Bring it out of the 20-yard line.
Even the kicker's fired up.
Oh.
Metro college football. No game like it. Now we'll see what Cade can do. Now all they need is a field goal, but I'll tell you this.
Terrell Price, Dick, comes in at running back. He replaces the injured Hicks, so he's in that backfield.
He's got a burst. He's a true freshman. Sylmar High School, LA City Player of the Year. He's got some talent.
Ayers is slotted on the left-hand side. McNown rolls the pocket left, looks down that far sideline, goes deep, and it's caught at the 30-yard line by Jimmy McElroy. The Bruins are not yet finished.
Holy mackerel. Tight coverage all the way, Brent. He had, you know, the defender just couldn't relocate the football. Here it is. There's play action inside. That's Sauer 32 on him, running with him step for step. See, he's looking back. He just turns back the ball, throwing a little bit short. That's the advantage to the receiver. He can see it coming.
50-yard game. Oh. Hey, let me have a Pac-10 game everywhere. Is this what goes on out here all the time?
I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think I'm in the whack. First down and 10 now. The ball on the 30-yard line for McNown and the Bruins. Oh, did they stop? Fumble on the ground. The Sun Devils say they've got it. But hold on, there's no official indication. But the Sun Devils are celebrating. They've got it.
Is that Bernstein again?
That's
Is that big Sean Swayda?
Watch Price fumble the ball, Dick, and we'll pick it up here on the replay.
He's got it tucked. Oh, he's fumbling it in exchange. They were fumbling it before they got to the line of scrimmage. Good job of defense there by Jeremy Stat, 92 at good penetration, but he was fumbling the ball prior to the line of scrimmage.
And Mr. Bernstein recovers the fumble. Brent Bernstein from Glendale, Arizona. He is the player of the game as far as Arizona State is concerned. One big play after another. Another quarterback gets a whole lot of credit all the time, and justifiably so. But Mr. Bernstein stood in there in the heat of battle when they were trailing. Now, can they hang on? 6:18 to go. Here comes Plummer, and he'll hand it off now to his freshman running back, and he gains 2 yards.
Well, you know, a freshman running back, he's been in school for 5 weeks, going in there to carry the ball. Ball was not seated properly at the exchange point, the mesh point. It was bubbling it right out of the handoff point. My gosh, that just bounced right up quickly, didn't it? A minute ago, it was 0 for 2. Now it's even.
Two botched exchanges. Second down and 8. Just inside of 6 minutes to go. Arizona State a 1-point lead because UCLA missed its 4th extra point. A personal foul after a made extra point brought it back. Arizona State working on the clock, pounding away at the middle. Sean Williams making the stop for the Bruins.
You said Sean Williams. Now, those kind of guys that have been playing well all day in there on defense. And, you know, Sean Williams is a safety. He's the free safety up tackling on the line of scrimmage.
So DC slips into the Major League Soccer finals with that win today. Of course, we'll have that next weekend on the network. Got to wonder now if Plummer's going to put the ball in the air. They just about have to here on 3rd and long. And here it comes. Blitz on the throw. Got it. Tight end. Midfield. To the 46-yard line. Check that. That was Lindsey Jackson coming across the middle who made that catch. A 20-yard gain for Jackson.
Well, see, they ran a cluster formation with motion coming in. You'll see it from the right side of your screen. They blitz up inside. They handle. There's a blitz coming around the outside. He got rid of the ball quickly enough to go ahead and complete the pass.
So an injured Bruin is down on that play. Philip Ward. 4.5 minutes now. Plummer's going to keep it. Run naked over here to the left side. He's going to try to get the tight end, and it is incomplete.
You could
call a little bit dangerous, but maybe it was interference also.
I think it was a pass-off offensive interference myself that time because the tight end put his hand on the defender and shoved him back. That's a good job by Zach Romero. Good thinking, but he could have been called for using the hand to push the defender away.
Well, let me go back on the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. You're watching it right now, folks. We are past the top of the hour, 4.5 minutes. So welcome to the Thrifty. Some crazy minutes and plays still could be ahead of us. 2nd down and 10 now. And here is Redmond breaking to the 40-yard line on that 2nd down. So this will be 3rd down. You know, leading by a point. Arizona State is going to continue to drive down and see if they can put in a touchdown here. They're not going to stop on this.
No, they're going to keep trying to move the ball. See, they're far into a different phase of their running game right now, too. They're running the counter game and pulling backside linemen and blocking down with the onside people to fill those inside gaps. If you don't allow penetration and allow those offensive linemen to pull around the point, it's a good football play. They've got to get some penetration with that defensive front if they're going to stop that series.
Coach Snyder and the Sun Devils keeping that clock running. 4th quarter, keeping the ball, leading by a point. So here's the 3rd down. The fullback. 1st down, Arizona State. On the sideline and out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Jeff Polk, the 245-pound sophomore out of Tempe. And is he ever put together?
Yes, he is. Pat Thompson, the offensive right guard, pulled and kicked out. You'll see him right there in the right center of your screen, number 67. He kicks out right there, and they run right up underneath him. Now, Dan Cazzetto, the offensive coordinator, told me that was a new play they put in the offense this week to take advantage of this style of defense. It worked. Maybe they should have used it earlier.
Now 3:40 to go. And here's the handoff, and Redmond getting a test under fire here today, and JR out of Carson. Hit by Williams. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. Florida State big over Miami.
There's Nebraska. That's the team that Arizona State went ahead and whacked. We saw Nebraska last week. It's hard to believe anybody could beat them.
Arizona State here today showing a lot of character.
There's that counter again.
And Redmond not going to go. Slipped the tackle and made the most of it to the 19-yard line. A good run, all things considered. But this is going to leave Arizona State with a 3rd and 6 at the 2:54 mark.
See, that time in the counter, they got some penetration there, and Wilmer came inside and made the play. Strip those linemen. Don't let them get them outside. You can make the play with a linebacker.
We'll take a break and come right back. Timeout UCLA. 2:52 remaining here in the fourth quarter in the Rose Bowl. Arizona State leading UCLA by a point. It is 3rd and 6 for the Sun Devils right now. The ball resting just inside the Bruins 19-yard line. High formation, the look for Plummer and the Sun Devils, and they run Redmond straight ahead. He's got it. 1st and goal. Still going. Still moving it. He moves it to the 2-yard line. What an effort by the freshman.
Just a very simple isolation play. Lineman blocking lineman. Fullbacks through on the linebacker to lead the play, and they just go ahead and run it right down their throat. They haven't been able to do that all day. Now they find a way to do it, and the reverse angle shows it. And excellent running. Now this guy, Drew, is a true freshman. Good power, good leg drive, determination to get it into the end zone. Boy, I tell you, and you're going to coach him for 3 more years? That's going to be fun. Wow. These Bruins have fought their guts out, but you got to give the Sun Devils some credit for coming back. 14 points in this fourth quarter.
Well, you know, it's a senior offensive line up there. Roque at that tackle spot. Robertson, the center. Thompson, you talked about, Dick. Eru Gamer is only a sophomore, and Murphy a junior. But basically, you don't see those helmets bob. One of that illegal procedure stuff as they sit down. Now, having said that, I probably jinxed them. But they hang in there now, and they run the freshman toward the end zone, stopped at the 1-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal. This would be a big 6 points for the Sun Devils.
And you're so right, Brent, when you're talking about where is it important to have experience. If you have an experienced offensive line like these people have, it makes such a difference, and you can handle more problems. Plus, you can ask them to do more things. And the type of schemes that they use offensively at Arizona State, they ask them to do a lot of things.
After watching the snake weave into the end zone, wouldn't you just say, run that naked bootleg out there and don't tell anybody and zip on in here? Freshman to the end zone. No signal. No signal. Going to be 3rd and goal at 1:41.
Feel the frustration of the Bruin defense right now. There's a flag in the end zone over there on the end. It's a yellow flag on the gold end. You can't see it.
Arizona State indicating that it's against the Bruins.
The ball was short of the goal line. It was a dead ball. Personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal.
First down. First down.
1:39 to go and a 1st and goal.
Oh, Bobby, I tell you, nobody's immune. I know it, but that must hurt. Must hurt. The kids played so well. You did a great job of preparing a team that was a big underdog. And hey, you're going to win a lot of football games as a head coach of the UCLA Bruins.
Maybe Jake will just put that saddle on Kirk Robertson and say, giddy up.
You know, the only thing that surprised me about Snyder is it took him 5 years to get it done. 5-0 at the end of 5 years at Cal. He's 5-0 coming into this after 5 years at Arizona State. But he said he had to start over after going into his 3rd year there.
That's his MO. It took him 3 quarters today. All right, here's Plummer now. Straight ahead, bangs into the end zone, and there's the touchdown for Arizona State. Puts 6 more on the board. It's a crazy game. You just absolutely never know, do you? Just a few minutes ago, we were showing the standings, thinking about UCLA being tied for 1st.
What they ought to do to eat up the clock?
Just bingo like that.
Fumble the ball. Fumble the ball.
2 exchange fumbles. Okay?
Should never happen.
And ASU took advantage. Let's give them all the credit in the world. They turned both of those turnovers into touchdowns. Both Jake Plummer runs for touchdowns. The first, he received a halfback action pass, and now Robert Neese adds the extra point, and it is 42-34. And here is Plummer from Boise, Idaho. He was met with resistance there by the middle of the. You've got to really feel for the Bruins who played their hearts out.
Sure.
Today.
Yeah. No question. It's still going to be tough. It's still going to be tough for a team in the Pac-10 to go through it undefeated.
Well, Jake Plummer has another great day in a comeback mode. Well, let's give our Chevrolet MVPs. And I know for a lot of you, Jake Plummer's an automatic MVP, and certainly he authored the most exciting play of the day. But let's pick out a fella in the trenches who, when they were down 21-7, he kept deflecting balls, and he recovered the last fumble of the day, we should say. So we want to pick out a defensive fella, Bernstein, because Jake the Snake gets all the credit in the world. And Cade McNown, the UCLA quarterback, stepped up in there, and he threw for a career high. It was a heck of a comeback performance by the Sun Devils. And now the Bruins, only 8 back, down, and they're 80 yards away with 1:18 to go. Remember, with the two-point conversion, they're still not out of this, and here they come.
21-37, 388 yards, no interceptions, right? No PIs. Heck of a job done by this guy, and heck, all he is a true sophomore. He's got a lot of time to win some big games here in Bruins.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10. 1:15. There's the timeouts left in this game. Partner, we had ourselves a good one here today.
Hey, I don't think it's over. I mean, we felt it was over a few times here, and all of a sudden it's changed. And boy, he's done a good job. I think he's got the Bruins playing hard. He's playing with emotion. They're going to sag that zone now.
There's McNown. Incomplete, and it is 3rd down with 1:08 left on that clock right now.
That's Alan Borges, the offensive coordinator. They're giving him a little positive affirmation there, pumping it up. Game plan card. He's got it all mapped out. Knows exactly where to look on the card and what to call off the card. Move the tight end over in position to block Rodgers.
Bernstein coming in from behind. Fires complete. Gets it off in time to the 36-yard line. And Danny Farmer is the receiver.
Clock stops while they move the chains. They're getting lined up. 1 minute to go. 2 timeouts.
It's going to be a long minute. Coach Snyder down there says, come on, wind that clock up and let's go. Now the countdown begins. Down for the shotgun. Steps over to the left-hand side. Bernstein brings him down at the 35-yard line. A 1-yard loss.
They call the timeout to stop the clock.
They played their hearts out, the Bruins did. 44 seconds left. A couple of fumbles here in the 4th quarter. That turned the game around completely.
And, you know, simple kind of exchanges. I mean, not difficult, not where you're faking to one guy and reverse pivoting and handing it to another guy. Just direct handoff problems.
So the final 44 seconds.
Real loose coverage.
2nd down and 11.
Dash.
McNown waiting for a receiver. Hit as he releases. Goes deep to Ayers. Intercepted at the 10-yard line by Jason Simmons of Hawthorne, California. This baby's all over.
They tried to get the ball to Derek Ayers on a little stopper, hook and go or out and go type move. And normally against a defense at that time in the ball game at this, you aren't going to get a corner that's going to jump up and acknowledge that kind of a move. And then he could never catch up coming out of that little move. He couldn't catch up with the corner. So Jason's right there in position to make the interception. They can just flop her on.
3 Bruin turnovers in the fourth quarter on 3 consecutive possessions. And Arizona State lives to play unbeaten again. Final seconds tick away. Jack Arute, Dick Vermeil, I'm Brett Musburger. We hope you enjoyed it. It was a great performance by the Snake. And Bruce Snyder says, hold that until January 1st. I'd like to come back here and play one more time.